We live in a world that's just overflowing with information. So how do you make sense of it all? How do you find the stuff that really matters? Well, that's exactly the skill we're going to get into today. Let's dive in.
Oh yeah, we've all been there. You're staring at this absolute wall of text, and you just feel buried, completely overwhelmed. And the thing is, the real trick isn't just to read everything, it's to actually understand and remember the parts that count. So here's our game plan. We're going to start by looking at that feeling of information overload. Then we'll get into the art of the summary itself and break it down into 3 simple steps. After that, we'll try it out on some pretty different topics, from soybeans to the Sahara Desert. And finally, we'll talk about why this skill is, no joke, your new superpower.
Okay, so let's start with that problem, that feeling that we're all just drowning in words.
Right. The goal isn't just about letting your eyes pass over the words. It's about comprehension. It's about turning that passive reading into a really active understanding. And to do that, you're going to need a tool, a really powerful one.
And that tool, you guessed it, is the summary. But I want you to forget about those boring book reports from school. This is a crucial skill for thinking clearly about, well, anything. It's how you really take control of the information coming at you. Let's get specific about what we mean. Summarizing is really 2 key things. First, you have to select what's most important. And second, you have to paraphrase it, which just means putting it in your own shorter words. I love this idea that it's not just shortening, it's sharpening. You're cutting away all the fluff to find the real shiny idea at the center. Okay, so that all sounds great, but how do you actually do it? Well, let's break it down into a super simple 3-step method that honestly anyone can use. It really is this straightforward. Step 1, you underline the core. Go through and find the main points, the key facts. Step 2, you abridge the language. Look for ways to make your sentences and phrases tighter and shorter. And step 3, and this one's huge, you have to cut the extras. All those examples, the long-winded explanations, the stuff that gets repeated, that's all gotta go. Now this is a perfect example of step 2, abridging the language. The original phrase, children who show intelligence far beyond their age, that's 9 words. The word precocious, it's just 1. It means the exact same thing, but it's so much more efficient. Finding that one perfect word can make all the difference.
Okay, enough with the theory. Let's get our hands dirty and actually put this 3-step process to the test with a couple of very different examples.
So our first challenge is this 225-word paragraph all about soybeans. As you can see, it's pretty dense, it's packed with facts. Our goal? To shrink it down to about 1/3 of its original size without losing any of the really important stuff.
This is step 1 in action. We've gone through that text and pulled out the absolute core ideas. Things like they're versatile, they grow almost anywhere, they're used for a ton of stuff, they're super healthy, protein, vitamins, good for your heart, and soy milk is a great dairy alternative. These points are our essential building blocks.
All right, next, we just weave those building blocks into a paragraph. And just by doing that, look, we've already chopped the word count from 225 all the way down to 90. That's a huge cut, but we can do better.
Yeah, we can make it even sharper. This is where we bring in steps 2 and 3, abridging the language and cutting the extras. We tighten up phrases, get rid of little details we don't need, and boom. The result? 74 words. We hit our target. Mission accomplished.
Okay, ready for another one? This next text starts with such a cool hook. Right away, you know the core idea is about this amazing, surprising change that happened to the Sahara Desert.
So if you were tackling this one, what would you underline for step 1? Well, you'd definitely grab that main contrast. It's a desert now, but it used to be green. You'd look for the proof, like the rock art showing hippos. You'd find the reason why, that big shift in the Earth's orbit and tilt. And you'd for sure highlight the big lesson here. The climate can change, and it can change fast.
So, after seeing it in action, let's just zoom out for a minute. What have we really learned here? Because this skill, it's about way more than just passing a test or writing a report for work.
And here it is. This is the most important part. When you get good at summarizing, you're actually getting good at thinking. You're basically training your brain to find the important stuff in all the noise, to build a solid argument, and to explain really complex ideas with total clarity. It is the key to mastering pretty much any subject you want to.
So I'm going to leave you with this challenge. Think about a complex topic, something that you find fascinating. Could be anything, science, history, something in your own work. Now that you've got the tools, what complex story are you going to make simple?